action. Starting this video without a clue. Well, a little more so than usual. I actually don't know what I'm about to make today, so I thought I'd do maybe a little bit of a kitchen inventory. See what kind of ingredients I have and what I can make, because I don't want to go shopping. See, what's standing out to me is these oranges. It's a sack of them that I bought for something else. I never ended up making it. Not yet, at least. So they're just hanging out in the fridge. Some of them have seen better days. Yeah. But there's a lot of good stuff to be done with these oranges. I know it. Just gotta figure out what that is. What can I make with a sack of oranges? Come here, Julia. Excuse me. I'm on to something here. Where is it? Got it. Oranges. Okay. Apricot jam or bust here. Orange marmalade. There it is. Pulverized almonds, anyone? Got them. You know what? I got everything that I need. This is gonna be the Julia Child Orange Cake Redemption. Gâteau à l'orange. I'm gonna remake the cake that caused me a breakdown. It's f***ed. It's over. I don't know what to do.
Oh! Bon appétit.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my home. It's lovely to have you here today. I'm already getting the ball rolling. Need the rind of 1 orange. And you also need freshly squeezed orange juice, scrounging. It's gonna need to be strained. That looks great. Let's do this! It's the Silver Fox. Silver Fox! All right, into the fox goes 4 egg yolks, whisk going on that. I'm gonna gradually beat in 2/3 cup of sugar. Boom! Cool your freaking jets. And gradually. The mix has fallen off the whisk and sits onto the surface for a second before it melts into everything else. Great. 1/3 cup of freshly squeezed orange juice. That's not 1/3 cup. I have to add in the right amount. 1/3 cup. The grated rind of an orange. Pinch of salt. Until that's light and fluffy for a moment or two. Beat it. Battling with the whisk here to scrape down the sides of the bowl. Just chill, let me do it. 3/4 cup of cake flour turned into a sifter straight into my mix. How do you like that? Is it pointless nowadays? Perhaps, but it's certainly gratifying. Beat in the flour. Today's episode is in partnership with Rosetta Stone. I have tried learning a new language more times than I'd like to admit. I'm very on and off with my French. It starts off feeling like a great idea, productive and ambitious, and then over time, like a week or a month later, I just abruptly quit and move on to less fulfilling things, I'm sure. But Rosetta Stone approaches learning a new language differently. Because it is a language learning app built around real world situations. You're learning things you might actually use in a conversation with a fellow human. And instead of constantly translating everything back into English, you're learning through context, like images and repetition. And it's not just about recognizing words, but it's also putting them together, responding and communicating in like a real way. And there's also this thing called True Accent, which listens to how you're saying things, compares it to native speakers, and lets you know if you're even close or if you're just fooling yourself, which is kind of what you want.
Est-ce qu'il y a de la place dans ton sac à dos?
Oui, mais juste un petit peu.
Oui, mais juste un petit peu. If learning a new language has been sitting on your to-do list, waiting on you, this is a solid place to start. Get an exclusive discount with Rosetta Stone by clicking the link in my description or scanning the QR code right up there. Thank you, Rosetta Stone. Gotta get back to it. Where does he get all those wonderful toys? This is what I'm gonna use. This is, I can't remember the name. Whitey Ford, right. The egg whites from 4 eggs. Do I need to use this thing for what I'm about to do? Probably not, but it's playtime right now. Salt for egg whites, 11. Once the eggs have reached soft peaks, I sprinkle in a tablespoon of sugar. And then keep it going, no breaking until stiff peaks. This thing does an amazing job. 1/4 of the stiff peaks to start, and fold it in just to get things incorporated, and then in goes the rest of it. Right? I didn't really read that. Delicately fold in the rest. Careful. 9-inch cake pan, please. Thank you so much. And I have to give that cake pan a BJ. Baker's joy, guys, please. Parchment paper in, perfect. So I gotta immediately pour this into the cake pan. Oven set to 350 degrees F. I gotta bake this 30 to 35 minutes. And middle rack, good luck. Ooh la la. That's done. This cake puffed up and browned, and now it's been hanging out for like 10 minutes, cooling off. And now I'm gonna get it out of the pan. Abracadabra. That looks fantastic. That is a nice looking cake. I don't think my first attempt looked anything like that. Saucepan, gotta make some orange butter filling. 6 tablespoons of butter. 1 2/3 cup of sugar. 2 egg yolks, that's 1, and there's another one in there. I just need 1, there. Crack in 2 eggs. The grated rind from an orange. And 1/4 cup of my orange juice. Should I tell you now or should I tell you later? I'll tell you now. I didn't do any homework when it came to this recipe today. I have made it once before, yes, but I didn't rewatch that video. I didn't rewatch any of Julia's attempts at making this on her show, or I really just kind of dove right in and I'm raw dog. I'm raw dogging it. And the reason is because I didn't feel like doing anything else. I just thought I could manage. All right, so I gotta place the saucepan over low heat, dusting off the whisk that totally didn't fall on the ground, whisking until it thickens up like honey. And then that's good. You can start to see the bubbles that are appearing on the surface while it gets heated. And then once those subside, keep an eye out for that, because once they do, if you look closely, you're gonna see a little whiff of steam rise. I remember reading this from last time. She has a way with words, that Julia. It will be too hot for your finger. Okay, it's hot, but I can manage. You must heat it enough to thicken, but overheating will, bracket, of course, close bracket, scramble the egg yolks. All right, so I'm focusing on all that, and I totally forgot one crucial ingredient. A tablespoon of an orange liqueur. I'm using a Cointreau, of course. And there it goes. Do feel like that's thickened to what I'm looking for, and it coats the back of a spoon. So I'm gonna take this off. Okay, I need to get that into this bowl of cold water. It's not a bowl, but you know what I mean. Keep it beating for a few minutes till it cools. Take a look at this thing. It's for cakes. I can't remember what it's called. Does everything need some sort of cool name? It's clearly just this thing. And I have broken it. So I always suck at doing this. That's why I wanted to use that thing, whatever it's called, but a knife works. It's serrated. I wish I had that thing. Not too shabby. Could have done a better job, could have done a worse job. If I had that thing, it would have been smoother, but I don't, so that's great. All right, one thing that I should have done prior to splitting it open, but I'll just do it now because Julia says, cut a tiny vertical wedge into the cake, and that obviously tells me how to line it up down the road. Thinking for now, I just have a cardboard circle underneath. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spread, oh yes! That is the texture of honey. I told you that I've made this cake before, but I have never made this look like this before. There's something very special about how this looks. It goes over the edge, that's fine. Orange butter filling, spread enough of it on the lower layer of the cake, and then of course lining back up the wedge. Why would she have me make all of this orange butter filling? And there's a lot of it in here if that's all I had to use, was spreading 1/8 of an inch layer into the middle there. Makes no sense to me. I don't get it. So I need to coat this with 1/8 inch of whatever this is. Put this top layer. I've completely psyched myself out. Thing is, and this is the confusing part, you are not to use this again for the cake that I'm about to make. You only need just a little for the filling. And now we're moving on to something else. So I think that was confusing to me the first time, and it's confusing to me again, and it feels like such a weird waste of time, energy, in my life, and ingredients. So I'm about to do what I promised myself I wouldn't do. Because it just seems weird to make all of this and not use as much as I want to use. So I'm just gonna add a little more than she advises to do so because I made it and that seems logical to me. Now we got ourselves in a pickle. Ah! All right, see? No big deal. What on earth am I gonna do with all of this? I'll just put it in the fridge and figure it out later. Moving right along to the apricot glaze. Now I need around a cup worth of apricot jam, jelly, whatever, and I need to pass it through a strainer. Look at all that, the skins and whatnot, don't need it. That needs to go into a saucepan. 4 tablespoons of sugar. Give that a stir. I was using apricot jam, not apricot preserves, which I'm not sure how much sugar is in the preserves. The jam already had 10 grams per 1 tablespoon. So I just added in 4 tablespoons of sugar into already sweetened jam. Not sure that's what Julia had intended, but that's what I did. So on to a moderately high heat for a couple minutes. It's gonna be thick enough that it coats the back of a spoon with a light film, and the last drop's gonna be sticky as they fall from the spoon. I think so. Slivered almonds, around a cup. Gotta get these toasted into the oven, 350 degrees for 10 minutes. Pulverize these almonds. Julia says half a cup at a time. You don't wanna exceed that. I'm gonna go with a full cup, because I like to live my life dangerously. I never picked up on this before. She says, add in a couple tablespoons of sugar to prevent them from becoming oily and lumpy. Seems excessive. I'll do a tablespoon. So I'm gonna pulverize this, but not too finely. I don't want almond flour. Okay, stop, please. It smells amazing. The apricot glaze has cooled down nearly completely. I'm going to take the pastry brush and brush off any crumbs and any bristles from the brush. Paint the cake with the apricot glaze. And just spoon some on there and then paint away. And along the sides as well, come on. Okay, I think this is the big moment. A plate, and the almonds go onto said plate. So last time I did this, I accidentally spilt the almonds on top of the beautiful cake. I'm gonna try my damnedest not to do that right now, but I feel like all my training throughout the last few years has led me to this moment, and that is to stick these almonds around the side of the cake. So she says to hold the cake over the almonds and brush them against the sides with the free hand. And I feel like I'm being kind of clever today with a piece of cardboard underneath the cake. Anyway, here we go. Yeah. Not more than 1/4 of them will adhere. The MVP of the day right now is that cardboard circle underneath this cake. By golly, I think you did it, you bastard. All right, so this goes onto a cake platter. Should I remove the cardboard? Don't test fate today. Okay. One last thing I gotta do. All right, so I am going to take the last of the oranges. I have this thing. I think it's called like a zester, specifically for like citrus, I believe, and it can do amazing things, I believe. This thing works like a dream. I know Julia has a different way of doing it in the book, but maybe she didn't have one of these. Half of 1/3 cup of water, half a cup of sugar, and I bring that to a boil. Once the sugar syrup reaches 230, in goes the orange peel. And a touch of vanilla. And I gotta remove it from the heat, leave it for like half an hour. Once the orange peel have firmed up, pretty much, candied orange peel into the center like a loose pile. How about that? Definitely feeling a minimal approach with that. Stop there. Order up. Don't forget there's cardboard there. Woo! That looks great. Whoa. Off you go. I'm trying to be just a bit better with my cake intake these days. Limit it to like 1 slice. This is my second. Not big and loud. I mean, the loudest it gets is the filling in between the two cake halves. That orange butter filling. That packs the most punch. Besides that, everything is fairly restrained. This cake knows who it is, and it's okay with it. It's not trying to be the best cake in the world. It's confident. I gotta be more like this cake. This is so damn fresh. Oranges, thanks a lot. And the apricot glaze, of course, providing a little freshness, but lots of sweetness. And that cake is soft, tender, and the orange butter filling in there, just seeping into it, is so moist. And the almonds are just so necessary there because of the crunch. So everything that could go wrong today did not. It's a huge success. Resounding positivity. I have freed myself from the orange cake purgatory, for which I have been stuck in for the last 3-4 years, however long it's been. So I think 4 years, almost 4 years. That's incredible. I'm gonna go. This was Jamie and Julia. Bon appetit. Au revoir.
Bon appétit.